Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, that's a different type of currency. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new. Hopefully by now you understand, but if you don't, we got you. You gotta make up in your mind, you ain't gon' let nothing stop you. We gon' break that thing down till you simple and proper, and let you know you were created to dominate and prosper. And we just tryna help somebody, we ain't tryna convince you. But it kinda hard to believe if you still ain't interested. Put your money in the bank, but it won't collect no interest. We show you how to make your funds have a higher percentage. You wanna take action, we ain't capping it for real, y'all. Come learn another way that you can pay your bills off. Pull out your phone and your computer after you hear this song. Tap in to be your own bank, movement.com. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, that's a different type of currency. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new king currency. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new king currency. BYOB.
Good morning, good morning, good morning. Gonna get started in just a moment. Drop it in the chat where you calling in from. Drop it in the chat. We'll get this call started in just a moment. But drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat where you calling in from.
Teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new king currency. Hey, first of all, let me tell you about the business. Mr. Jerry D. Rogers, he the one that had the vision. Educate and impact at least 2 million. Now it's 4 years later and we still on the mission. Yeah, we talking 2 million families, shifting their perspectives mentally and financially. How many of y'all like being broke? Never mind, don't answer me. But if money is your problem, then actually we got the answer key. Enroll, learn, and profit. It's simple, don't make it challenging. Shout out to Tasha Dyer for coming up with the strategy. Now I ain't saying it's easy, cause focus is something you have to be. It ain't no better feeling than setting your own salary. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, that's a different type of currency. Hey, you can be your own bank and take your time while you're learning it. Where you about to be is not where you reside currently. We gon' teach you how to compound it while you're earning it. It's that new type of money, it's that new. Hopefully by now you understand, but if you don't, we got you. You gotta make up in your mind, you ain't gon' let nothing stop you. We gon' break that thing down till you simple and proper, and let you know you were created to dominate and prosper. And we just tryna help somebody, we ain't tryna convince you. But it kinda hard to believe if you still ain't interested. Put your money in the bank, but it won't collect no interest. We show you how to make.
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning.
Capping it for real, y'all. Come learn another way that you can pay your bills off. Pull out your phone and your computer after you hear this song. Tap in to be your own bank, movement.com. Hey, you can be.
All right, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, everyone. Good morning. I hope everyone is having a blessed morning this morning, and we are live this morning. I just want you all, as you join us, to go ahead and drop it in the chat. Drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. And so, ladies and gentlemen, before we get started, I do kind of want to make sure that I do bring a little clarity. Once again, the call schedule, right? The call schedule, it is going to be going out soon. We are still finalizing a few things, as you already know. As we've announced, we have some new educators that are actually going to be on our platform. So we're going to be able to facilitate the training based on the levels and the different areas that you're in. So I definitely want to make sure that all of us are aware of that. Now, with that being said, you want to make sure that you're enrolled. And I'm sharing that with you because many of you have attended the webinars. Many of you go to the site and you get enrolled as an affiliate. And I want to make sure that you understand that an affiliate and being enrolled in the actual academy is two different things. So enrolling in the academy is what's going to give you complete access to the training materials. It's going to give you access to, it's just going to give you access. Like right here, you see your BYOB live. So this is where you're going to get your live training. Now it's not showing here yet the call schedule because once again, I'm not logged in right now. So this is where our calls are going to take place. They're not going to be on Zoom. They are not going to be, they're not going to be streamed. So, you know, we will have little things that we will share publicly, but it's not, you're going to have to be enrolled into the academy. Now, the academy is different than being an affiliate. An affiliate allows you to be compensated for sharing this information. So if you've enrolled in an affiliate and you have not enrolled into the academy, you want to make sure you do get enrolled into the academy. And you can reach out if you are finding us live, you found us on YouTube, you found us somewhere. You can definitely reach out to info@byobmovementworldwide.com. That's info@byobmovementworldwide.com, and we will definitely make sure you're guided and directed. And if somebody invited you out, let us know that as well. You know, let us know, because we want to make sure that you get connected with the person that did invite you out. Okay, we definitely want to make sure that that does take place. Now, also, you know, as we get started today, this is more of an advanced call. And I say that even if you're basic, or you're still learning, based on your enrollment is how you'll have access to the classes. So if you're enrolled in a basic package, then you won't have access to this morning, this 9:30 class. And that time is going to change too. So I want to do this one after the bell. You get, like, I want to do this one after the bell. So around that time. So this Monday and Tuesday call, our weekly setup, is going to shift till 9:30. So tomorrow we will be on at 9:30. Next week we will be on Monday and Tuesday at 9:30. This is a weekly setup call. It's an analyzation. And so I want to make sure that you're gaining, and we're going to walk through analyzations, things of that nature. So make sure that 9:30 tomorrow, I'm here at 9 today because I didn't want to shift it without an announcement. So 9:30 tomorrow, and then next week on Monday and Tuesday at 9:30, that's when this class will be. All right. And let's go ahead and, you know, dive in. I want to make sure that you all, and I'm going to show you what I'm going to analyze this morning. I'm going to walk through, but as you continue to log in, please drop it in the chat. Let me know where you're calling in from. And I can see the stream. So if you're on YouTube, if you're on Facebook, you know, as you have questions, as you drop it in, I want to make sure that you're chiming in as well, with your questions, with everything that you're looking for. So, and all the questions and everything that you have. So I want to make sure, you know, that you kind of dive in, you ask those questions too, because I can see the interaction, just for the record. Now, where do we go? I want to let you know what's going on this week, how important it is. But before we do so, we're going to start with, wrong site. We're going to start here. And so I'm going to come to our daily news. I'm going to play our daily news. I want to make sure that you all, you know, are tuned in, understand what's going on, because it's very important. Mental mindset. You should have dropped affirmations in the chat. Okay. Once again, if I didn't make the announcement, this is Tasha M. Dyer, you know, the Trade Whisperer, creator of the BYOB Cash Out Strategy. Let me start from the beginning, but I want to make sure that you are plugged in. So we always start mental mindset, and we are going to have personal development that is available to you all, right? You are going to have, you know, personal development that will be available to you all as well, because the reality is you will never outgrow who you are as a person. You will never financially achieve what you desire if you can't mentally grow as a person. So your mindset, why do we do affirmations? You know, why is it that we have to affirm? You know, it's more than just the affirmations. And I want to be clear, it's a lot more than just the affirmations. So you want to make sure you affirm, you want to make sure that you actually put that into action, but believing in yourself, which is why we do the affirmations. Now, they say faith without work is dead. So we have to actually implement those things that we are talking about. We have to believe in the things that we're saying. We have to understand that we have to, be believing. And that's why we affirm. That's why before you sit down, you have to believe that you can do this. You have to believe that you understand. You have to believe that this is for you. And, and I don't care what it is you're doing in life. That's applicable to everything that you have in life, every goal, every desire. So you want to make sure you're affirming, you're believing, you are doing those things, and then you prepare. So in my preparation, it's no different. It's a Monday morning. So many people are headed to work. So many people are going to work. And what do you do when you get to work? You prepare. You look at your emails. I don't know, anytime I just started working, from the time when I started, when I was a teenager, when I was a cashier, that preparation include counting my till, making sure I had everything I needed to be successful, which meant we don't think about it because it's in our minds, but that meant, did I have enough quarters? Did I have enough dollars? Did I have what I needed at my register? Did I have what I needed to drop the cash? Did I have the void sheets? All of those things I had to check before I went to the register. So everything that we do, we prep for. When I go to work out, I have my workout gloves. You make sure you're in workout clothes. You make sure you stretch first. All of those things, you don't just go in there, you're going to have injury. And so I don't care what it is. And this is no different. You have to approach this as you are ready to make that shift, and you have to approach this with the right mindset. And that's what the purpose of the setup is for. That's what the purpose of the market structure analyzation is for. That's what the purpose of this call is for, is to prepare you, because when you're on the basics call, they're going to walk you through. They're going to help you lay that strong foundation. They're going to help you establish, understand strategy, understand a little bit of support and resistance, understand how to set your broker account up. They're going to help you create that foundation. But in order to be successful, you have to be able to build. They're going to show you how to trade in between, how to take those trades in between the higher top-down analysis. And this morning, I'm going to kind of show you just how important that is. But let me play this first, because as you can see, this is today, and you should always understand what's happening in the world, in the market. So I'm going to play this for you.
Live from the world's capital markets. Here are the latest financial headlines brought to you by BYOB Trading Academy.
Hello, and welcome to Monday's Daily Financial Review. Here's what's making headlines in the markets today.
Japan and Germany agreed to coordinate closely on financial jitters stemming from problems among Western banks, while carefully monitoring global markets and economy, a Japanese finance ministry official said. Sterling rose against the dollar at the end of last week, after a series of lifelines for struggling banks helped restore some investor confidence. The sudden drop in oil, sparked by the dramatic events involving Silicon Valley Bank and Credit Suisse, has unsurprisingly led to a reassessment of recession risks and the potential impact on global oil demand. The last session saw the dollar drop 0.5% against the yen. The stochastic indicator is giving a negative signal. The Bitcoin dollar pair exploded 4% in the last session. According to the stochastic RSI, we are in an overbought market. The gold dollar pair traded sideways in the last session. The RSI indicates an overbought market. The oil dollar pair dove 2.8% in the last session. The ROC is giving a negative signal. The US 3-month bill auction will be released at 15:30 GMT. The US 6-month bill auction at 15:30 GMT. Germany's producer price index at 0700 hours GMT. The Eurozone's trade balance will be released at 1000 hours GMT. Germany's German Buber monthly report at 1100 hours GMT. The UK's Rightmove house price index at 0000 hours and 01 minutes GMT.
We hope that you've enjoyed Monday's financial review. On behalf of all of us here, we wish you a productive trading day. Be sure to join us tomorrow morning for the latest news and events from the financial markets.
See, 2 minutes. Join us for the latest in financial markets. And so where we're going to start. So this is some of the trading signals, which means as far as, when it says it's giving a negative signal. So I want you to shift your mindset. Many of us come from an environment or an understanding. We are an education platform. A signal is not what we've grown accustomed for it to mean. A signal is, what is the market saying to us? It's not us trying to give you the answer key to the back of the book. That's not what it is. So when we look at Euro USD, you can see that it dipped. And the MACD, which is an indicator, is giving a positive signal, which means that it's giving indication of a positive market, which means long. So with GBP USD, you can kind of take a look at this. So once again, now I will tell you this, I'm going to be a little leery of our USD pairs right now. And when I say leery, it's because we have FOMC over the next 2 days. So when you think about, the FOMC, you hear about interest rates, you hear about all of those things. What we're looking for is trendy markets. We're looking for a market to have direction, whether it's long or short, whether, which means buy or sell. We're looking for those trendy markets. And so when we're talking about setting up, it's not going to be just today. So that's the Federal Open Market Committee, the FOMC, and they are actually meeting on the 21st and 22nd. So we're going to pay attention to the fact that that's going to have huge impact on the strength or weakness of the USD pairs. So when you're trading and you're doing those setups and you're looking for those long-term, you're looking for those, I want to make sure you're paying attention to that. But I do want to kind of bring to you these two, okay? So we have our USD JPY. I will tell, we're going to analyze that one. And you see it's giving a negative signal. So we're going to still analyze it for you to pay attention to it for it to drop. And then, of course, Bitcoin, BTC USD, because crypto, they've had, very significant, they've been riding low for a while. Let's just say, it reached as high as $60,000. And now you can kind of see where this is. So I'm going to kind of lead these up because I want you guys to see it. We're going to walk through some of this analyzation, and I'm actually going to screenshot this right quick because I didn't write these two numbers down, their support and resistance, and we're going to take a look at that this morning. All right. So, and then of course, as you heard in the news, you see the gold that was in the news, and then of course the oil. So here you have tools for you to dive in and really take a look, right? They talked about this in the news clip we just watched. It was less than 2 minutes. It's what you need to just really get your day set up. And these are things that's really going to help you. And this is what we mean about setting you up for success, making sure that you have a positive day, right? A great trading day. And that's ultimately where we're going to start. All right. So now, I see you. You're saying, sell. I got you. We're going to analyze it though. We're going to analyze it. Now, I want to come over here to our live market. Now here, I'm not going to walk you through the strategy until it's time to take a trade. That's what you got this morning. That's what you'll get on, some of the other calls. But as you can see, for those of you all, we are using TradingView right now. And for those of you all who have not already set up a TradingView account, you want to come here, and this is going to assist you in setting that up. This is going to assist you. Now, why is that important? Why do you want to kind of get started here? You can follow along with us. Because the reality is as you're looking at this, the BYOB cash out is already set up on here. Now, I am going to be, in the morning on a basis call that's happening in the evenings, that they work through. Then, of course, they're using BYOB cash out strategy. I'm using it. Obviously, I created it, but I'm going to show you how to kind of interact it between the BYOB cash out and the actual candles when you're doing your analyzation. And then, of course, as you heard this morning, we have Dr. Kurt Graham, who is going to be on the charts, and he's going to be more of an intermediate level call. And that's going to be on Thursday morning. And so he will be here this week. That'll be another educator. Some of you are familiar with, some of you have never heard him before, but you will actually see him on the charts this Thursday morning at 5:30 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. And you'll see him on the charts, and you'll get to experience some of that intermediate session. And so he'll be making his debut on the platform this week. And he's going to not be using the strategy. He's going to be showing you how to analyze with the different strategies, supply and demand zones, some of those other things. So we're speaking to everyone here. And that's the point I want to get across. I shared the clip, and I'll share that to you again. Share the clip, and I'll share the clip with you again from a gentleman that's been a stock trader, stock investor, doing 6 figures a month. So that's been very successful, and he's got his own strategies that he trades with. So we're showing you how to take advantage of the market in every aspect, but the combination, the foundation that everybody's using on a platform, guess what? It is market structure. Nobody's getting away from market structure. And I want to be very clear on that, okay? It is all about the movement that's happening in the market. And then, of course, let's look at some economic calendar, and then we will start analyzing the charts, okay? So once again, I have this set up for the week. This it now, as you know, and I'm gonna tell you now, do I check more than one news source? Absolutely. Am I gonna do that right now? No. And I'm saying that because I'm doing a weekly setup. So I'm looking for the major moves that's happening in the market. If I was doing a zone to zone right now or things, obviously I'm looking for things that's going to spike the market. I'm looking for things that's going to, push the market. And so when you're on a call in the morning and you see three different news sources, and you see three different news sources, then guess what? That's what you're looking for. How do you get to TradingView? Fantastic. I'm glad you asked. I'll review that again. Right here on our website, BYOB Movement Worldwide. I want you to go to live feed, and it might change the name just so we don't have any, I'm gonna have the name changed because I want you guys to understand this is not where your live training is coming from, because we call this one BYOB Live. So this is a trading academy. This is going to be the live market. And I want it very, very clear. So this is just a feed of tools and information so these are our BYOB tools, right? Our BYOB feed, our BYOB tools. And so TradingView is here on our actual website, BYOB Movement Worldwide. And this is a TradingView chart, and you can actually analyze, mark it up, chart it up right here. Now, that's obviously if you don't have your own personal account already, but it's right here. We also have our economic calendar, those things that are very important to you analyzing and looking. And I can come in here, I can click here. I changed it to this week. I wanted my date range on here. I can come do my filter. What countries do I want news from? Do I want high impact or low impact? So I took those off already because I don't want them on there. If it's no impact, then I'm not gonna really pay that much attention to it. So we want that medium and high impact news, because those are like FOMC interest rates, those sorts of things, that's going to give the market direction. And the higher time frame market direction is ultimately what we're looking for. Okay. So now I'm switched over to my personal TradingView account. I have my BYOB watch list. Now, if you need help setting those things up, once again, that's what that basic call is for. You want to make sure you tune into that basic call. Right now, it's not a finalized Tuesday night. That's going to shift. That's why we haven't officially put out a call schedule. But this week it will be on Tuesday at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And then of course we're going to accommodate. We're in two different time zones. We're in more than one time zone, but we're in two major different, like on the other side of the world. So there is typically a 5 and 6 hour time difference. And so we are going to accommodate that with two different schedules, two different calls. That's going to facilitate those basics, but that's part of the information that you're going to receive on that basics call. All right. Definitely want to make sure you do that. Also, before I get started, let me not forget, I do want you guys to come to our homepage. Okay. And you want to bring your +1. For those of you all who are already affiliates, you probably got your email this morning. Please stay plugged in to our emails. We will send out pertinent information. So if you are already an affiliate, then you probably got it, but you want to come tomorrow night at 7:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Register, find out more about BYOB, the movement, what we're bringing to the table. Bring your +1. Bring your +1. How do you change lives? Don't try to overwhelm yourself and think you got to have 50 people on the call. Now, if you got 50 people to bring them. Don't not bring them because of what I just said. Bring them. However, you can change lives one person at a time, right? You made a decision. You help somebody else make a decision. All you're doing is sharing information. Bring your +1, +2, +3, +5, right? Bring them to the call. Share with them how to get started. And we have those 2 videos on our YouTube channel. Also our success steps. You want to go here and watch these 2 videos. Okay. So you have your getting started video, gives you a snapshot about what BYOB is all about. And then of course our affiliate program, and it helps walk you through how do you get someone enrolled? How do you utilize your links? What do I need to do? How do I get to the funding site? All of that is right here. Everything you need to be successful is going to be on this website. It's going to direct you to this website. All right, guys. So just kind of want to put that out there. Now let's switch back over. Where we're going to start. First, let's do a quick review of what took place last week. All right. So we're going to start here. We were analyzing our GBP AUD. So I'm going to do a review on this one. Now, if you notice, this is our markup. Okay. I'm going to come up here on my daily chart. All right. So we can kind of do a quick review. Go back and watch the playback if you need more detail. You notice that I have my traditional candles. These are my Hikanashi candles. We're looking at the traditional. It doesn't matter right now when I'm doing this complete top down. Doesn't really matter right now because what I'm looking for is the area that we're trading in. If you notice that we created this zone, that blue box is still there. Okay. How many of you all remember this from last week? How many of you all remember this from last week? How many of you all marked this chart up and are watching this trade with us? How many of you guys remember that? Yes, no, maybe so, maybe so, maybe so. Awesome. Did anybody take any profit on this? Did anybody take any profit or did not take a trade because you actually you did not take a trade because you actually marked it up now? Because I had some individuals last week that literally said they would have jumped in, they would have done that, right? So how many of you all did, how many of you all had a better understanding last week, right? And I think, what do we do this Wednesday? We mark this up Wednesday. Now, once again, there will be no Wednesday call, but we mark this up Wednesday. So, all right, awesome. So let's look, okay? So this is the zone that we kind of marked up. I'm always start around my weekly, okay? When I look at it, I like to start my charts on a Sunday evening or great, I'm glad to hear that. So I like to start my charts on a Sunday evening or a early Monday morning based on what I have going on and what's happening in the market. And I like to, because this candle, if you look right here, it says Monday, right? This candle is a daily candle and it says Monday the 20th. So that will be our Sunday night. You notice when we say the market opens Sunday at about 5, that's our Sunday evening because everything is based on GMT time. Okay, everything is based on that international time zone. So we're in a global market. So no matter where you're chiming in the world, so you have to accommodate or adjust that time for you. All right, you're going to have to adjust that time for you. So now when I start on my weekly, I like to see what the market's doing. And if you notice that support and resistance, the rejection, all of those things are there. So you see I'll switch back and forth on my candles. I like to see what's happening, right? My Hikanashi candles are trend candles. They are trend candles. So they give you the bottom line. That's what they do. But you notice that here we have rejection. On my higher time frame, you're going to have a more dynamic, is going to be the market is you're going to see the pattern, the trends. You're going to see the market direction, the impact. You're going to see those things a lot clearer. And this is where your pure, like your market structure is. And what happens when you start drilling down our time frames, we're trading within the zones that are my higher time frame. We're trading within the market structure. So this is always going to be very, very important. So if you notice that's what this blue box was for, this is why we drew that. And what I'll do is I kind of thicken it up a little bit because I didn't want to make it like loud, which is why I made it blue. But you can see that we've created this zone area, not we created, but we identified the zone area that we're trading in. And so you notice that this is, where you can see that the market has a heavy rejection area, a heavy support and resistance area that's right in here. Also, obviously we understand psychological levels. I'm not going to get into that today right now because we're not technically at one, but I want you to pay attention to where we are in the market. So we identified that. So now as I come back down to my daily, you identified that I began creating those higher highs, okay? My higher highs, my higher lows. So we do have a trend that started being identified. We have a trend that started coming within the market. And then we start looking at, okay, obviously I don't need both of these. I think one of those was when we were doing that side by side. screen share, and I had to draw the other one on there. But you start noticing that trend. I switched to my Hikinashi candles. Look how smooth it is, okay? And this is that line that we identified last week. So when I switch down, I'm gonna just keep drilling down a little bit, and you start seeing the movement in the market. Now, this is from a higher time frame, right? We're still here. That's from a higher time frame. And so if you all took a trade, you should have not traded past that support. Past that trend line. If anybody took this sell, your take profit should have been to that trend line. You notice that even in the morning on that basic call, do you not see her adding trend lines now, right? Do you see her adding trend lines where she's adding those trend lines to ensure, you all understand it's not about, oh, let me grab 10 pips. No, we are not doing that. It's not about, let me grab this. No, ma'am, no, sir. Our focus with your success, our focus is you being successful. And our focus is all about you understanding how to how to effectively implement and understand how to take trades, when to take trades. How do you determine your own take profit? Now, understanding the 10 pips, that was designed, or that was always taught from a mindset of helping you gain some confidence, from helping you get in the market, understanding how to take a trade, how to facilitate it. But what happened is a lot of you all got stuck there. A lot of you all stayed there. Many of you all felt that that was the answer and that you didn't need to advance past that. So we're going to help you from the foundation, which is helping you identify and take trades and helping you identify how to effectively take profit. Because with this, if I want to swing trade, fantastic, I can do so. If I only want 10 pips, no matter how much this movement is, then guess what? Fantastic. Because this was a 80, almost 100 pip move. If you actually took it from when it moved down, then let's just say you got about 50 to 70, to be on the safe side of not over trading or over analyzing, right? And that's still a good day. But if out of this, if all I wanted was 10 pips, then get your 10 pips. But you have to understand support and resistance. You have to understand trend lines. That's your foundation, period. That is your foundation. That's your foundation. And market structure is your foundation. And we are not going to deviate from that. We're not moving from that. We're going to teach you that. That's what this is all about. You with me? Let me get, anybody took profit, let me get a 777 in the chat. And if you, right, because I told you guys to watch for this. So, and I told you what it would do. You see where it would break down, it would retest. Now, obviously it happened over here, but that's still the same thing. If you have an understanding, I see the 777s. If you have an understanding, let me get a 555. If you have an understanding, let me get a 555. I even got some text messages. I got some, hey, I did this. I took this. I profited this, So great. Now, if we're going to implement it, let me get a 111 if we're going to actually come through and implement it. All right, there we go. So we understand we're going to implement it, and some of us took profit. So let's talk about where we are. So now what's happening is we have a rejection. Now, I'm going to tell you, the market that's why, let me switch over here. It rejected off of the trend line. Right? You see, let me come down on my 1 hour and you can see, actually, let me stay on my 4 hour. So it rejected off of our trend line. It did. It rejected the same, exactly what we said, which is right here. It was going to reject. Now, before we take any trades down here, it needs to break the trend. It has not done that. It has not broken that trend line. Okay? It has not broken that trend line. You notice we drew this particular trend line on my higher time frame. So right now I'm still on my hour, but we were on my weekly and my daily. And so now you can see you're trading within, you're analyzing within a larger market structure. Okay. You're analyzing the major market structure that's on this currency pair. Okay. And so you notice that this is not a break. I want to be very clear. This is not a break. This is, I guess, some people call it a liquidity grab. I hear it called so many different things, but I'm gonna just go with liquidity grab, okay? So you notice that it rejected. So it's a liquidity, it has not broken. So understand that just because it pushes through something, just because you sit on the other side of that, that is not a true break. A break is, for example, let's see here. Like, for example, you know, if I come down here and I look, okay, let's look at this one. This will be a break. So when it came to the support and resistance line, it rejected. Now it broke through. I'm still not trading yet. I'm still not trading yet here. It does its retest, right? We always talk about the retest, and then it breaks through. Then it rejects off of my, you know, it rejects as a resistance, and then it rejects as a support. And now the market start moving upward. So if I change it to my Hikinashi candles, look how clean it looks. It breaks, right? It pushes through. Let's say it pushes through. It rejects, and then it pushes up. That's where we know we've broken a support and resistance line. Right here, we have not done that. On either side, it rejected, it pushed up. We still need this part of this movement to happen. It still has to break through, retest it. You always wait for that retest, okay? You're waiting for that retest. That's what you're looking for. We're waiting. And what does that look like over here? So I'm gonna put a box around this area, okay? I'm gonna put a box around this area. We're gonna drop down, okay? Because I want you to understand what you're looking for. We're going to drop down. Now, you notice that you all could have traded this. Many of you would have traded this on my lower time frames here, you know, so you see that movement. But just because you're trading in that movement, this is where our basics educators and, you know, they've already done their top down analysis. They've already done their higher time frames. This is why when you see it dropped in there, we got this move for 100 some pips. We did this, we did that. They've already done that. You know, that's why I say you need both classes. You need both sessions. You don't think, I'm just coming to the basics. You need to be tuned in. So you take this and it helps you understand that and understand what they're doing, because these are the trades that they're showing you, like that zone to zone. Because the reality is this is quite a bit of movement. That's 100 pip movement. So that's quite a bit of movement. And so you can see that that's happening. And I also have a trend inside of there, but I'm still within the higher market structure. See, I got a nice little trend. I created some, I can clone this, you know, I can clone that. And I have, you know, I can clone that and you see a nice little trend. And of course, I have my lower highs and then my lower lows as it's making. And then it still breaks the same mark. See, it comes back for a retest right here. And it's the same thing. It's the same thing. But it's inside, it's structure inside a structure. It's structure inside a structure. So you want to be very mindful of that, okay? You definitely want to be mindful of that. Questions, comments, testimonies before I move on. I wanted to show you what it kind of would look like before you come over here. Questions, comments, testimonies. All right. So now this is what's happening up here. So now when you see this, because I'm on a 30-minute, I can come down to the 15. You guys would be like, oh, well, it broke and it retested. That doesn't need to happen down there. That needs to happen up here. That retest, that needs to happen here. Because that's why if you're doing that from a lower time frame, if you're looking for that, you're welcome. If you're looking for that on your lower time frame, that's how you get caught in those liquidity grabs. So remember, you're a retail trader. It's not about you. It's not about you. It's about the institutional investors. It's about the ones that are, you know, it's about the ones, you know, that's actually putting millions and millions of dollars, not $500 or whatever in there, you know, because remember, you're a retail investor, which means you're trading with the broker you selected. You're not actually trading in the actual market. You're trading with the broker that you selected. That makes sense? It's like, you got your interstates, then you got your highways, your U.S. highways that run alongside the interstates. You're not on the interstate. You're on the highway, right? Where all the traffic is, where all the major movers are, they're on the interstate. They're on those highways. You're on that little road that you always see when you look over. You're on that little road off to the side. You're with your broker, okay? So that's who you're with. You're with the broker you selected. That's who you're trading. They're the ones in the interstate. So the liquidity grab is not about you. It's not about getting you. It's not about that. In order to be successful, though, you have to be able to trade and analyze, because it's the same thing. Remember, it's the same market, but you have to be able to see. But that's not about you. Okay, that's why I don't like the terminology like manipulation and all that stuff, because it's not about you. It's about you taking the skill set, the mindset, and you implementing it. Questions, comments, testimonies. I see you. I got some fire and everything else. I see you over here. Questions, comments, testimonies. All right, so we're still rejecting. Okay, you see we moved up. Let's come over here to you see they're red here. So we're still rejecting on our higher time frames. So now when I come down, okay, now when I come down, I know some of you, right? I know some of you, well, this is where some of you going to grab 10 pips, some of you grab, but you need to understand what you're at and what you're doing. So don't try to make long-term moves in here. We're not ready for long-term moves. This is where my scalpers live, okay? As a scalper, some of you might live in here. You guys will be over here looking for a flat top, stochastic down, blue line cross over the red and downward momentum. I have a red candle with a flat top and a PSR flip to the bottom. So let's let where my little heart. I don't know why it does the heart there. But so you're here, right? This is where, you're here. Come up to my hour time frame. I don't have confluence. So I still don't have it yet. I'm a little flat line on my stochastic. Look like it's trying to curve down. I still don't have confluence on my higher time frame. So what's happening is you're waiting for another flat tie candle if you're scalping. If you're scalping, that's what you're waiting for. If you're doing little short zone to zone trades, that's what you're waiting for. If you are waiting for the big picture of the market, you're not ready yet. Okay? You're waiting for that movement, you're not ready yet. Questions, comments, testimonies. And we're going to jump to this USD JPY as well. Questions, comments, testimonies on my GBP AUD. None? Okay. All right, so let's go and jump over here. And as you can see, some of this is already marked up from previous. So I'm going to jump up here. Now, remember, it said that we had, right? What did it, somebody remind me what it said we had? Or do we need to go back and check again? USD JPY. What did it say we had? What about GBP AUD? What about it? I see the comment. What about it? All right, so talk to me. What did it say? Somebody tell me, what did USD JPY said when we were on the chart? I'm going to sit here. I know somebody with me, right? Let me see. I'm glad it's getting clearer and clearer. I'm going to put the song back on. I need somebody to go look and tell me. I need to know y'all paying attention. You with me? Because I'd be like, let me go take these trades myself. All right, so we're going to go back together and look since nobody remembers. Let's go back. What our daily news say? Okay. What did it say? You with me? So I'm going to put that support and resistance. I'm going to write, remember that's what I took a screenshot of. And then, so this is why it's kind of called a signal. It's not a signal, but there we go. Now I got it. Negative. Let's go back. All right. So once again, I'm coming up here on my weekly. As you can see, as I mentioned, these were prior markups. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna clear my chart. See my little trash can over here to the side. I'm gonna start from scratch with you all. So I cleared my chart. There are absolutely no drawings on here now. Okay. So this is my weekly. And if you notice that on my weekly, we had been in an upward trend, okay? On my weekly, we had been, it kind of broke it a little bit. So let's see what's going on here, okay? So it said it's giving a negative. So is it, it broke it? You know, and so what we'll do is analyze. So what I want to do first is I'm actually going to, not what I want. Well, I'm going to grab this horizontal line and I am going to go ahead and I'm going to put these little numbers on here. I'm going to show you guys how to use this. All right, so it gave me, right? So once again, it gave me a support and it gave me a resistance, okay? It gave me a support and then it gave me a resistance. What's the difference in support and resistance? They're the same line, but what's the difference in what's the difference in support and resistance? What's the difference in support and resistance? What is a support line? Maybe I'll ask it like that. What's a support line? What's support? Well, zone this out like this. Okay, I'm like, somebody paying attention. Somebody paying attention. No, I don't want it to say top or bottom. What specifically, what is the support? It's not, it cannot be both. It cannot be the bottom and the top. When I say support and resistance lines, then that will be accurate. But when I say what exactly, support is the floor. Exactly. So what is resistance? And the reason I'm asking, because a lot of times you guys hear me say, you know what, that is the same thing, you know, because it is the same line, but it's how the market is approaching it. So how the market is approaching it is very, very, very important. Okay. How the market is approaching it is very important. So you notice that all I did is from here, I took my support, then I took the resistance that it gave us. Okay. So I am going to do this. So now we know what area that is that it identified this area. Okay. That's what we know. Okay. So it identified a support and it identified a resistance. And this is the area where, awesome. I'm glad to hear that. So now that's my weekly. So now you can see that this is what we are. Okay. It's calling for a negative, but this is the current support and resistance where the market is. Okay. This is the current area of support and resistance where the market is. So you notice that what we're identifying is here. So if I'm going to sell, now it's calling for negative. It is calling for negative. Okay. Let's be clear. It is identifying it as a negative. But before I do anything, somebody help me out based on what we just analyzed from our GBP AUD. And I'm going to unflag these based on what we just analyzed for. And I'm going to flag these because these are the two we analyze right now. But based on that, right? Based on that, what would need to happen based on what we just did with GBP AUD? What will need to happen in order for us to look for a sale or look for something? What needs to happen? What needs to happen? And when it breaks the area, then what? There we go. It's going to have to retest. Okay, it's going to have to retest. So based on, now let's come back up here. And I want to show you also, we're starting, doesn't mean it's quite there yet. I want to grab me a trend line. And what's a trend? It's going to be 1, 2, pull it through, right? So 1, 2, actually, let me come over here to my a trend is a 1, 2, pull it through. So 1, 2, okay? 1, 2, pull it through. I'm still on my weekly and my daily identifying the market structure on my higher time frame. So I got my 1, 2, pull it through. So now we can expect the market to kind of hang out in this area. So as you can see on my higher time frame, we've started a trend area. So this is why you're looking at, hey, it wasn't an upward trend, it was in a long position, and now it's looking at coming into a short position. All right, so I am going to clone this area. I'm going to clone it, and we're going to look at see if it creates a channel. All right, so that means that everything else that we trade will actually be where? In between this channel. What can I expect to happen? Unless it comes out of this channel. What can I expect to happen? You know, so it broke it or it didn't break it. And so it might come back and touch it. But if it doesn't break, then we're definitely pulling through. And you'll see now it's starting to happen. So let's start dropping down on my daily. As I drop down on my daily, you can kind of see where we are in the market. My daily, my stochastic is in an oversold position. So you can see it might want to push up. So I don't expect that break. Also, be mindful, based on what happens tomorrow and the day after that, you can get a reaction, a spike, a quick movement. Those things can happen, okay? That's that major news that gives, you know, that's that major news that kind of gives us that understanding, like where the market, you know, creating that direction, all right? And that's what we're seeing. So as I continue and I start breaking down, then I will tell you that there is a structure inside a structure. So there was a harmonic pattern that was identified for a buy, but I also understand that that pattern, you know, let's put those numbers on there. So who would trade this? Help me out. If I found, and I'm gonna change the color of these so we know the difference, but if I was looking at this, so, you know, who would trade this? Would it be a swing trader? Would it be a scalper? Would it be intraday trader? Who would be looking for this? Who would be looking? I'm gonna mark it up while you guys tell me who would be trading this. That is correct. That is correct. That is correct. So it, you know, it doesn't matter what you have. It doesn't matter where you're pulling your tools from. It doesn't matter. You need to know how to use them. You need to know how to use them. Oh, yeah, let me see. All right, and that one would be red. Now let's explain this, okay? Let's explain this. So even though I'm on my 4 hour, all right? So you notice that when I look here, possible entry area, target, you know, that's quite a bit of movement. This is not no little movement. We were identifying on the, it saves automatically. It should save automatically, right? It should save automatically. If you come back over here, you should be able to click this. If you click it, it'll open up. And hopefully I didn't mess up and pull it. So it should open up in TradingView. It'll save automatically. TradingView saves automatically. You notice that in order to take off my old drawings, I had to come over here to the trash can. So there's nothing special you have to do to save your markups. All you have to do is go create you an account. So you notice that, okay, so here we are. You notice what we are. So now, once again, this is quite a bit of movement. So you need to understand, like, this gave us our zone areas for our support and our resistance, okay? So when we look at our daily news, I want you guys to understand how effective this is, how significant this is, okay? It saw the dollar drop, you know, the stochastic indicator giving a negative signal. It created that support and resistance. So you want to be able to look at this, right? And you want to be able to come back over here and you want to be able to analyze it. So this is very accurate. It's very, very accurate. But inside of that, I also have, right, 1, 2, pull it through. Okay, I'm going to change the color just so we know that that's my higher. That one, you know, that's my higher. And I'll get a color scheme going here. But as you notice that 1, 2, pull it through, when I'm seeing that 1, 2, pull it through, you can see, I always want to hit it on that 1, 2. You can use the wick, the body of the candle. It doesn't matter. You know, don't get too caught up on how you draw your trends. But now you can kind of see where we are. Hikinashi, you would have to break this trend before, you know, like it comes up. You would take intraday, you take it to about here. It's going to have the same reaction. It needs to break, it needs to retest, and then it needs to pull up. But I would not take a bypass here. Okay, I would not take a bypass. I would not, right? You notice that this is why that second target is only here. Okay, it might not even pull all the way back up. It might kind of reject up in here, but I would not take a buy, right? I would not I would not take a bypass here. And I would respect. So your trends on your higher timelines, they are definitely, those are the ones you want to respect all of your market structure, but my higher time frame, don't disrespect it, because you will be the one upset. Kind of think about it like when you was talking to your mama back in the day. Let's go back in the day. Yes, and I said your mama, not today's kids, but my generation and above. When you said you don't disrespect it. No, ma'am, no, sir. We don't do that. So in that sense, what will happen? You get your head knocked off. We do not want to get our head knocked off financially. Okay. So this is why, and you guys, so I need you guys also to monitor, the things that, I'm not gonna, in our chat, I'm not, if you're not tuned in, you're not, no, I understand a loss is a lesson. I get it. We've all experienced it. But if you are not being disciplined and stuff, we're not going to celebrate your quote unquote lesson. If you are not tuned in, you're not plugged in, we're not celebrating your lesson, because that gives a bad impression. That gives a bad, no, ma'am, no, sir. You need to be tuned in. You need to be disciplined. You need to be focused. You need to make sure that you're understanding. And of course, things happen, but I'm even telling you right now to be mindful of the FMOC, pay attention to what's happening, is the USD. And guess what can happen? We're talking about true market structure, but guess what can happen? All right. I wouldn't hold a trade overnight waiting on that, because guess what? Let's say the US dollar weakens. Let's say it weakens. Guess what's going to happen? Somebody, I want this one, not that one. Guess what's going to happen if the US dollar weakens? Anybody? What's going to happen? It's not gonna let me stretch this one out. I do need the other one, don't I? So let's come on over here. What's gonna happen? And it's not gonna respect market. It's bam. It's just gonna go. But when it does that, don't try to, I missed it. I need to get in it now, because I don't care how far it pulls back. It is going to pull back up some. It is going to happen. So respect the market, and it will respect you. Okay, respect the market and it will respect you. So know what's happening. Be in the know. All right. So let's look at this. So right there, we already had a slight movement. Some of you guys might have taken profit on that. That was, so here, even though it's up here, we already understand, right? We understand that. I understand you all normally looking around at 20, but that's my 15-minute chart. It's pushing up, obviously. You can kind of see my hour. You see what's happening. So if anybody does take that trade, respect that. Respect. Just respect what the market's doing. So don't try to push past the trend line. Don't try to push past. Don't try to push past the resistance line right there. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, questions. None? You guys good? Glad to hear that. So that's why, like, you can get, it's not, and let me say it this way, that's why you can get what will appear to be conflicting information when you do your analysis, but you cannot override the higher time frame, right? I'm glad you guys got some clarity. You cannot override the higher time frame. So before we close out, I do want to jump over here for a minute. Let's look at this Bitcoin. It called for the same thing. Let's see if my zones are in alignment with what they said. You know what I actually have marked up. So I'm gonna put this on here as well. Let me get my BTC. I'm gonna write down this 26027 and 26470. That's my support, my resistance. Okay. is 27480, and that's 28047. Okay, so let's jump back over here to the market, and I'm gonna leave mine on there. I'll just make these a different color, and I should probably do this, not what I'm trying to do, because I want to, let's make it yellow, and I'll make this, and I'm doing it because I want you guys to be able to go do it yourself. All right, so that's one. And then of course, let's do the other one. So this is the zone area for the support and resistance areas that it's identified. Because remember, I always tell you, it's never just a straight line. And I like the fact that you get to see that now. And guess what? See, that's, and I've had these on here for quite a while. Matter of fact, I had these on here when the market was going down, not coming up when it was going down. So you notice that these have been on there. So this is when the market was going down. So it just kind of shows you that the structure is a structure. Support and resistance is just that. It reacted on this side, it's going to react on this side. There wasn't anything special I did. It was just on there from before. And then of course, let's come on over here. 27480. And this is that resistance area. So guess what does that say as well? It needs to do what? Which one? 27480. And then I got this one. Click the wrong thing. 28047. Right here. And we're gonna do the same thing. So what does that tell you, right? Well, we are. So it's giving positive, but we're also overbought right here, okay? I went down to my 4 hour. You can see the market reacting. We're also overbought. What does that tell you? What does that tell you? Just a little bit. Bitcoin had a nice little push, right? It's had a great push, right? Great push. So that we can pull back some. You notice that here I am. It tested it. It rejected. It's trying, but it's still rejecting right here. It has not broken this area. Now, one thing that it does is it does surge, but it has not broken this area. It has not broken this area. And so it will pull back a little bit probably, but it doesn't look like it's that much. You see, we're trying to get some little curve going right there. Switch to my traditional candles. See how we're starting to look at a curve that's coming there. Look at what's happening, right? It's trying to break through. So now remember, this also moves on a weekend. So you're going to have this, but it's overbought. So it pulls back. Now it pulls back a lot sometimes. So it exploded. That's what it does. It explodes. It just, that's just what it does. I mean, that's how cryptocurrency works. But it's going to have to truly break this area, give us that retest, or it'll pull back and it'll hang out in its zone. So it will, but it'll hang out if it does. So once again, I don't attempt to predict the market. I don't attempt to predict. I just analyze. So that's why I'm not being like, it could buy, it could sell. No, the market will tell you. See, market talks. The market will talk to you. Market talks. You have to learn to listen. Market talks. All right. Questions, comments, testimonies. Questions, comments, testimonies. And respect the trend line. Respect the trend line there. Questions, comments, testimonies. I'm so glad we got some clarity on some structure. Yay. Love it. All right. Love it, love it, love it. Questions, comments, testimonies. All right. So we don't have anything. We don't have any questions. We don't have any comments. I say amen. The market does talk to you. So yes, you do need to implement it. Go implement it. Go implement it. Go implement it. So go do so. All right, guys. So once again, we do have a few that we didn't get here. Just for the record, I'm gonna show it to you, but we didn't get over here. You are so very welcome. You can see heavy rejection. It's doing the same thing here on the US 30. You see that heavy rejection that's happening here. The heavy rejection, right? It's right there. So it's rejecting. So you can see what's happening. even with our indices, but I would definitely, this is it's been kind of sideways, FMOC coming up. So it breaks this, it will close out up in here what we already have marked up, but at least to here. All right. So you can definitely see what's happening. It's all market structure. The market is the market, 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 no matter what you're trading. Okay. And that's why I kind of like to pull one of these in the midst of our Forex analysis. Okay. All right, guys. Well, love you much. Tomorrow, please don't forget, I will see you at, I will definitely see you at 9:30, not 9 o'clock, 9:30. I will see you at 9:30 tomorrow, not 9 o'clock. Okay. 9:30. And then, of course, you want to make sure you come get registered. So we're going to come back over here. Oh, so I need to be on the right one. And you guys do it too. And so, and I'm going to just tell you, we've gotten quite a bit of inquiries. We will have things to come. You're not creating an account there here yet. There's nothing for you to log into. You cannot access the academy from this site. Okay. You cannot. Maybe we'll add a link to it. But no, there are 2 different websites. I just want to bring a lot of clarity to that. We have a total of 3. So you want to understand how it works. You want to understand what you need to do. Come here. These are your getting started tools, okay? BYOB. And then, of course, our affiliate program. You understand how it works. You want to order your books, be successful, right? We have a Power Start document that's going to help you there. Come on over here. Get registered for tomorrow night. If you're already an affiliate, you definitely already got an email. I got mine this morning. You want to register, come hear more about BYOB. I'm challenging everybody to bring a +1. I'm challenging everybody to bring a +1. And I'm going to tell you, I'm going to give the pastor at church credit yesterday, but after that, it's definitely going to be mine. What he mentioned and what he said. He asked a question. He started with, is it easy to be healthy or unhealthy? Is it easy to be, is it easy to make excuses or make a difference? Right? Now it's mine. So I gave him credit. Is it easier to make excuses or make a difference? It's easy to make excuses. It's easy to be unhealthy. It's so easy to make excuses. But they said, but they think, but what will, but. If it says a but, if you use the word but, then immediately after that is an excuse. And you suffer from what's called excusitis. Stop making excuses and make a difference. Do not make excuses, but make a difference. Challenge yourself. Is it easier to make excuses or is it easier to make a difference? It's easier to make excuses, but you leave more impact. You have more impact when you make a difference. Challenge yourself to not live in excuses and to make a difference and be that difference in somebody else's life. All right. I'm challenging all of you all on the line right now to bring your +1. Bring someone, share this information with someone, because there is someone that needs it, and help them understand that they can truly be their own bank. You have banks that crashed. You have things that's taking place. And we are the leaders. Like the U.S. financial markets is the leader in the world when it comes to that. So when we have a bank, we have that. Imagine what the rest of the world faces. The major currency pairs are the USD. So have we impacted? No. Well, we're waiting on, okay, so what's going to happen? Is US dollar going to get stronger? Is US dollar going to get weaker? Is the US dollar going to get stronger? Is it going to go weaker? And we trade and we profit regardless, right? How does this impact you? It get a market. I'm like, it's great. It get a market direction. All I need is the market to know what it's doing and have direction, and I can profit regardless. Position yourself. Somebody needs to know that. Someone needs to know that. So all of you all need to be registered. Every last one of you all need to be registered along with your +1. Make a difference in somebody's life. All right. So with that, I'm going to ask Ms. Reed, can you close us out, please, ma'am?
Yes, ma'am. I'll be delighted to. Thank you. Let's pray. Yes, yes, yes. Yes, Lord. We just gladly say yes to your will and to your way and to your word. Your promises, God, are yea and amen. And you promise never to leave us or never forsake us. And we literally feel your presence this very moment. And you are such a faithful promise keeper. And thank you so much for mightily using Mr. Rogers and Miss Dyer and each of our instructors. God, if we had 10,000 tongues, we could never, ever thank you enough for the great enhancements that have been made to our movement. Yes, our movement. God, we are so thankful, so appreciative, and so grateful that we are the largest economic empowerment movement known to mankind. And we decree and declare that we individually and collectively are taking responsibility for the rapid growth to be 2 million strong. And we do this in the precious name of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ. Amen. And thank God. And this officially ends this awesome call. God bless you, and let's go our way as we are profiting all the way. God bless.